Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Yasoda Nandana Vrajana Ranjana. Yasoda Nandana Vrajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. No, she must. You'll find it very helpful. Please do take. No, follow along. You'll see. It makes a big difference. Krishna Kumari, this gentleman needs also. Please sign your name and your on the book as well and date it. Yasoda Nandana Vrajana Ranjana. Yasoda Nandana Vrajana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Oh, Karta made it. Hare Krishna. Jai. Jai. Ki Jai. Jai. Ki Jai. Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga, Gaur Premanande, Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Vastaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Tinamane, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pacharine, Nivesesha Srinivadi Pacharine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you all so much for coming today. This is the summary overview of the introduction to the Bhagavad-Gita. And we are going to begin by explaining again, this is a facilitation. It is meant to increase retention, and it's highly interactive. We're increasing the amount of interactive because we find people are benefiting and appreciating it more and more. Facilitation means not what the lecturer necessarily knows, but what the participants know when they leave. So the emphasis is on my job is to help you learn as much as possible in the shortest time possible. So we use highly interactive skills. All you have to do is agree to do them with us, okay? Nothing's difficult, nothing's painful. And actually, you find the more you invest, the greater the return. First thing of all, we have to have the proper mood in which we approach everything, and we have to pray to Srila Prabhupada and Lord Krishna and the Vaishnavas that our intention here is solely to actually please them. That is pure bhakti. Any other intention will bind us, karma. So the perfection of life is to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And of course, let us all pray now, O Lord Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, and all the Vaishnavas, please give us the ability to please you today by this offering. This is an offering. Everything we do. Study of the Bhagavad-Gita is worshiping Krishna with your intelligence. So it's a form of worship. We have the book here, and we'll be doing that. All right, now the first thing that we do is that if you'll take your study guide out, on the back of the last page, we have a prayer. Now again, we are praying to the book because Prabhupada had said once to Darvi Shakti Mataji that the Bhagavad Gita is a deity. She wanted to take deities with her when she was preaching, and he said, no, the Bhagavad Gita is your deity. It is Krishna speaking to us now. It's eternal. It's not later, it's not was or will be, it's right now. He's speaking to us through the Bhagavad Gita. All right. This is the prayer for identity purification. Now, this prayer is especially important in this chapter because Prabhupada says, unless we give up any designations that I am this body, I am this person, I'm from America, I'm from India, I'm this, I'm that, he said we cannot enter the spiritual world. Okay? So everybody participating, Mataji, where's your... It's not a hearing, it's interactive, please. Where's your board? I have to be insistent because passive does not produce result. Abai, can you put the percentages on the board, that one, right now? You're going to see the difference between passive and interactive. If you sit there, if you just want to be a passive listener, it's not going to benefit you very much. I have to, because people are used to that, but it's not really at all, you know, we're not the sages of Namasharanya. All right, you see the percentages here? If I read something, how much can I remember? And this is 100 years ago. This is 100 years ago. Okay, go ahead. How much do I remember? 10%. 10%. How much? 10%. If I read, that's the average person, not somebody who's, you know, a slow learner. All right, if I just hear, 20%. 20%. This was 100 years ago, Dale Carnegie. 8 hours after I hear something, I forget 80%. 100 years ago. Now the attention spans are down to practically 5 seconds. Try it. Okay. If I see something, what's my percentage of retention? 30%. 30%. If I see an image. So that's why we use everything. You see, I can say this, but you see it and you hear it. Now, if you see it and hear it, what happens? 50%. It goes up to 50%. The point is multi-sensory experiences. The more all of the senses are simultaneously engaged, the stronger the impact, right? Prabhupada said that, engage all your senses in the service. One sense can drive you away. One. It's all. A learned man, one sense. What to speak of us? All right. Are you becoming more convinced when you see the statistics? Okay, this is coming from Ras Mandala's classes in Bhakti Shastri. I'm not inventing this. He pulled this material out. All right. Now, if I hear, see, say, and write, What's the retention?
70.
70. Now, if I was going to have it, I don't have it here, I was going to have rupees out. 10, 20, 30, 50, 70, 90. Which one would a wise man choose? For the same amount of time, right? So that's what I'm saying. You get what you invest, but we make it learner-friendly. We don't make it difficult. Now, a lot of people are coming in. Make sure they are understand what to do. There's a gentleman, we've missed him. Okay, everybody. And also, I want you to study buddy with somebody. That way you can help each other. So if you're sitting next to someone and they cannot find a page, you say, okay, here it is, okay? So, and we give the people a little time to wonder and settle on, because see, now it's practically pretty full. And I think once we get going, we'll have to count on people helping each other, study buddy. All right, so now we have the prayer for purification of identity. This is chanted before the deities by the pujaris every day, facing the Lord. And it's a pretty heavy admission. I want you to go down to number 2 and circle the last word in the first line. The last word on the first line. Go down to number 2 and circle the last word on. Everybody tell me, what is the last word? Inimical. Inimical. That is why we are here. We are inimical to Krishna since time immemorial. Heavy confession. The pujaris make this to the Lord every time they face him every day. And at the end, they make another prayer, Aparada Sahasrani. Please forgive me for all my offenses, unlimitedly. Okay? Please help each other. You all have study buddies? Did everybody circle the word inimical?
Yes.
If you have a body, that's us. Is anybody here exempt? You have a body, right?
I missed this. I don't know.
No, you will. Follow. Okay, help her. Help her.
My dress went in the wheel, so I will.
That's okay. Okay. And mark it. Okay, she's got her pen. Everybody help each other. Explain it. All right. All right. Now, it's probably a little difficult for people on the radio, what is going on, but my first objective is those people who have come here. That's my first objective. We have to also consider radio audiences, also videos. Because people do follow on videos. They see these and they actually subscribe. I have on email all of the data for 18 chapters over 4 years' time. Okay, take a little time and relax. Be relaxed, alert. We don't want you to be fearful, but alert, okay? All right, now, I will read and then you repeat. We go now to the first translation. I'm not a Brahmana. Everybody say? Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Shudra. I'm not a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, or sannyas. What am I? I am the eternal servant of the servant of the servant of Sri Krishna, the master of the gopis. Padyavali 63. So this is who we are. That covers all the social and spiritual orders. So it doesn't matter what the costume is, it's not what we are. We're what's inside the costume. This is a costume. Awarded by nature because we're inimical. We're trying to purify the costume. All right. By nature, I am Krishna's eternal servant. Everybody repeat. Remember, hear, see, say. This pushes it way up. But by misfortune, I have been inimical toward Krishna from time immemorial. Thus identifying with my temporary material body, I have been continuously rotating in the cycle of samsara, suffering the threefold miseries of material existence. Okay, everybody, I see a few people just sort of sitting there. Mataji, please repeat. I'm a school teacher by nature, so you'll have to pardon my heavy style. But if you don't, you have 30 passive children in front of you that you have to keep active, or they torture each other, right? I know. Right. Now by the causeless mercy of my beloved spiritual master, I fully realize that I am Krishna's eternal servant. It's going to take that to get back into Godhead. If you have bodily identification at all, Prabhupada says in this lecture, you cannot enter Goloka. It's got to go. I am an individual spiritual being, completely separate from my gross and subtle body. By the mercy of my spiritual master, I have obtained the good fortune of serving him and assisting him in his eternal service to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Shyama in the blissful spiritual realm of Goloka Vrindavan. Beautiful prayer. Okay, I recommend you try to read this whenever you open your Bhagavad-Gita, or if you have deities, please do the same. Now, we're going to quickly look at some other orientation slides, the yellow series by why we do what we do. You saw the percentages, you will experience it. And don't mind me if I keep pointing out if I see someone actually becoming too passive. I'll ring a bell. Wake us all up. All right, here we go. Now, this is coming from a statement Ben Franklin said a long time ago, 200 years ago. He was the wise man of America. We used to learn his aphorisms in school. Closest thing to biblical in school. Tell me, and what will happen? I'll forget. Everybody experience that? Teach me what happens? I may remember. Involve me, I will learn. That was Prabhupada's genius. He engaged people. Okay? He engaged people. Author? Who was the author? Benjamin Franklin. Very good. We've got a few people coming in here. Now that's the secret. Now let's take a look at some more identity slides. How do we focus the mind? Anybody want to have a secret to that one? Right. We ask ourselves 6 questions when we study. These 6 questions and answers simultaneously will help you analyze anything. Anything. Let's look at the 6 questions. What's the first one? Who? We just did that. Who are we? What are we? Eternal servants of who? Krishna. Or Maya? Which one? Krishna. All right. Number 2. What are we doing? What are we doing today? We're studying Bhagavad-Gita. All right. Number 3. When is it? Now we take a look. Well, let's see. We'll just do this. We'll finish the questions. We're going to find out when it is, and we're going to find why we're doing it and how. The how is the methods, okay? Let's take a look of why we are fortunate. The first would be when. When is this now? Time frame. 10,000 year period of the golden era. Lord Chaitanya's, right? 10,000 years. Out of how many? How long is Lord Brahma's day? 8 billion. 600 million years. Is 10,000 a long time? No. So we have a golden opportunity. We have the perfect body. The human body is specifically meant for self-realization. You're not a dog, you're not a cat, I hope not. You have the perfect body for self-realization. You are in the perfect golden era. We call this the golden era. Now, where are we? Let's take a look at where we are. 4 billion mile universe. Big, right? Are we in Vrindavan?
Yes.
Is that good fortune?
Yes.
Yes. How big is it? 84 crores. Not that big. Where are we now? In the Krishna Balaram temple. 3.5 acres. Where are we now? Bhagavad-Gita class. And then inside you see the yellow circle, that's your material body. And what are you? Are you the material body? No. No. So you're very fortunate. These are what we call gratitude slides. Krishna, thank you. Golden opportunity, golden opportunity in terms of my body, in terms of where I am, in terms of time. We should say, Krishna, thank you very much. Everybody say, Krishna, thank you. I will fully use this opportunity. All right, very good. Now, I would like you to go, we're going to learn a few memory tricks. Take your, because the first thing we do is we master the structure. What do? We master the structure, the skeleton. Did this lady get a board, or are we out of them? We're out of them. Okay, maybe she can look along with somebody. Okay, try to be compassionate. Prabhupada was so compassionate. He gave his blood for us. You know, our tendency is to just think of I, me, mine, and we don't really relate to people around us. But Prabhupada, you know, he didn't know any of us personally. And we're here because of him, so we have to be a little, you know, compassionate towards each other. Turn to your charts, okay? We're going to mark these. We have here on one side we have the name of the title, and then we have a blank. Now, under the first one, everybody follow it? Please write 13V. Everybody write 13V on this one. You got it? 13V. Check to see everybody's doing it. Look around. I see a few people here that look as though they're just, you know, on another planet. Come on, everybody do it? 13V. That means 13 verses are in the first topic. How many? 13. Okay. Now, the second topic, we write 14V. What are you going to write? 14V. 14V. And in the next one, what are you going to write? 5V. All right. So what are your numbers? 13, 14, and 5. Okay, now go to the other one, because this I did this myself. I tried to follow Prabhupada's topics, and they were very obvious. It's not. I don't have any reference for it except the text. You'll see it's quite obvious. Now you have 4 more topics. There are 7 topics in this introduction, and you're going to know them and how big they are when you walk out. Are you ready for that? You will know the 7 topics, and you will know how big they are if you participate. If you sit there, you lose. Use it or lose it. 9V for the next topic, right? Topic number 4, 9V. And the next one, 5 is also 9V. So you have 9V, 9V twice. Now, the next one is 16V. The sixth one has 16 verses. Now, I say verses because what I did was I went through the book. We're going to do it ourselves. I took every paragraph as a verse, a text. And the last one is the Gita Mahatmya, and it's 8 verses. I treated them like slokas. So this is easy to remember. 9, 9, 16, 8. Can you show us the slide now? Here's your memory trick. We give you links. How many witnesses do we have? 13 witnesses. That's our first topic. How many manus are there? 14. There are also 14 planetary systems, right? You use something else to remember something you need to remember. How many witnesses? 13. How many manus?
14.
Okay. How many rasas? 5 major rasas. Because once you enter into a relationship with Krishna, you're establishing your rasa with him. Eternal one, fixed. Then, the next 2 are both processes. How many processes of bhakti? 9. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Right, 9. 2 times. Easy. So our numbers are 13, 14, 5, 9, 9. Okay. How many rounds are you supposed to do?
16.
Okay, 16. How many gopis are there?
8.
Principal gopis. All right? Everybody got it? Let's go backwards. Backwards. How many gopis? 8. And how many rounds?
16.
And how many processes?
9.
Twice, right? And then how many major rasas are there? 5. And how many manus?
14.
And how many witnesses?
13.
Everything we do, there are 13 witnesses. That's heavy, huh? Including Krishna, he's 14. Yes.
Where do you get the 30 witnesses and the 40 manus?
Well, you can ask me that later. That's technical, but I do have references for that. Sixth canto for witnesses. 6th canto, 3rd chapter, okay? And the manus, that's everywhere. That's in the 8th canto. You'll see those listed in the first, and in the, I think it's in the 13th chapter. First, all the 17, all the manus. And they change. They change. It's a post. It's not a person. It's a post. Just like the temple president is a president of the post, but there's a different person doing it. Okay? Everybody got it? How many learned this now? How many learned this? First time. Okay. That's important because if you know the structure, then everything fits. All right? Everybody happy? Yeah, you should find learning enjoyable. Following okay? Yeah. Okay. So we've got that much. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do is start to mark our books. Are you ready? Take out your little, and you're going to do 2 things. You need 2 things. You need your study guide. You'll see here, text 1, text 2, text 3, text 4. You see it? Everybody find it? Help each other. Look around, make sure you got it. Now, I guarantee if you do this, you will see how brilliant this introduction is. I cannot believe it when I read it. I mean, I'm doing something very analytical, but I actually feel ecstasy because I see Prabhupada. It's genius. Krishna is speaking this. There's no doubt about it. It's perfect. It is systematic. It is a lecture. And it is spoken in 1966 when the world had never heard of this. The modern world had never heard this knowledge before. And Prabhupada did not talk down to his audience. In fact, some of this is more elevated than things he said later. Amazing. Brilliant. You know this introduction, you have the Gita in your hands. All right, now, you see that? And you have this, all right? And you have your book. Now open your book. Because you're going to have to manage two things. You're going to have to manage following with your book. Yeah, take your little book out. It's going to take a little time, but once we get going, it goes fast. It's like anything else, you have to get yourself in order. And again, I apologize for people on the radio. They probably don't know what's happening, but if they can at least listen to the instructions. These little books, you can hold them up. They're probably the best bargain you can get at the bookstall. Prabhupada said the Gita, you'll see in the Gita Mahatmya, the Gita is more important than the Ganges. Everybody have his book? Okay. I'll explain to you what you have to do. We go to the introduction, which is on page 19. Everybody turn to page 19. Where are we? Turn to page 19 in your book. And help each other now, because you find if you do this, everybody got it? It has the changing bodies picture next to it. Hold it up to show us that you have it. Perfect. Because I know I had to teach school, and I had to make sure everybody passed, or I lost a job, right? Okay. Mataji back in the corner? Okay, how about this one? She signed out, okay. Okay. Well, at least she's in the right place. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, this is a two-step method. We're going to follow the study guide. For text 1, we see the word. What do we see for text 1? Authoritative. I use this first paragraph. Take your first paragraph and put a number 1.
Isn't that on page 1?
Oh, do I have the right page here? Introduction, sorry. I got you on the wrong page, forgive me. Setting the scene. Go back, go back, go back. For me, the glasses are a headache. Okay, introduction is on page 1. Go back. Everybody hold that up. Introduction. Got it? Yeah. This is part of what you call the defects. Human beings make mistakes. One of the 4 defects, that's why we're not Alparushya. We make mistakes, we are illusioned, we have imperfect senses, and we have a tendency to cheat. All of us, or we wouldn't be sitting here. Okay. Now, in the margin, for the first paragraph, you all know what a paragraph is, right? Because every time there's a paragraph change, you get an indentation. In the margin for the first paragraph, put a 1 and put a circle around it. And take a look at your neighbor just to be sure that that person did that. Didn't have any trouble. Honestly, it takes a little time to get going, but once we get going, it goes fast. We have to number 74 paragraphs in half an hour. We can do it. Okay, everybody got it, number 1? Now, find the word authoritative. It's in the last, go for the last line, it's the 3rd line up. Authoritative. Okay? Yeah. Now Abai is going to show you, we're going to be doing the topics first, because remember we discussed the size, 13, 14. Now, we're explaining the process and we're going to show you how we will do each section. The first section is about Krishna, Arjuna, and the Bhagavad-Gita. Who, what, when, right? Who and what? That's our first topic. How many verses? 13. All right. So for number 1, you put 1, and then did you find the word authoritative? Yes. Circle it. This is what we call in school the prompting trigger word. It triggers what is important in this paragraph. It's called walking through the material. It's a walk-through method. I take you through the method very fast, but you've got the essence. You'll see it works. Otherwise, you read a paragraph and you may not even have caught it. So we know the first paragraph is about the Bhagavad-Gita is authoritative, Prabhupada's Gita. The others are not. Why are we here? Because of Prabhupada's Gita. Anybody understand the Gita before that? Nobody did. Nobody did. Okay? Everybody got it? You know, this is the process. So you see here text, authoritative, and here is the essence statement. There are many editions of Bhagavad Gita, but none can be strictly said to be what? Authoritative. I took the phrase out. Now we go to a little more. Later you can read it, but this is what we call overview. It's a walkthrough method that gives me the essence plus the trigger word. Very helpful. All right. Are we ready to now we're going to get going. What's the second paragraph? Put a number 2 on that page. And go down, and if you go down, it's hard for me to show, but go down about this far and see the word supreme. You find the word supreme? This is going to be a hunt and search. Have to learn how to scan. You see the word supreme? Okay, circle it. Yes. This paragraph establishes that Krishna, the speaker of the book, is who? Supreme Personality of Godhead, according to all of the acharyas, according to Lord Chaitanya, and he starts with Shankaracharya, the Mayavadi. That's to just defeat the impersonalists. Okay, so you got it so far. Everybody following the process? Yes. Now we're going to go down to the third paragraph. Now it's hard because some of them have quotes or slokas in there. But I did my best, because sometimes I wasn't sure if this is a new paragraph or, whatever. But number 3, what's your trigger word here for your study guide? Disciplic. How do I get this knowledge? Only through the disciplic succession. Can you find the word disciplic? Yes. Circle it. And what do you put in the margin? You put a number 3 with a circle. So far I know the book is authoritative, I know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I know I have to learn this through the disciplic succession from a bona fide spiritual master. You follow how it works? Are you learning something? If you read that, what would happen? 10%. And you may not get it. This is how to study. This is a study skill. You see it works? Does it work? Yeah. Big time it works. It's called walk through the book. Now I go down and I mark number 4 on the left. Okay? And the trigger word I wrote is devotee. Usually I look for the first line or the last, because usually the first line or the last are what we call summary sentences. How will I understand the book? As soon as one becomes a devotee, he has a direct relationship with the Lord. What do you have to be? Yeah, the Bhagavad-Gita is for devotees. Prabhupada said, if you're not a devotee, you can never understand it. Not possible. Scholars know it in and out. They don't have a clue. They're blocked. Purposely. Krishna blocks them. Devotee. And he's a friend. This is the qualification for understanding Bhagavad-Gita. Everybody got it? All right, let's go down to number 5. What's the trigger word? Relationship. Now here's something very important. Whether the body is that of a cow, a bug, a human, a demigod, they're materially conditioned. They have an eternal relationship with Krishna in one of 5 rasas. But they don't know it, including us. We're coming close. We're 75% of the way there. The Bhagavad-Gita is meant to get us all the way. 100%. Okay. Every living being has a particular what? Relationship with the Lord how long? How long? Eternally. It always was, it is, and it always will be. Can't change it. If you're meant to be a gopi, you're going to be a gopi. If you're meant to be a cow, you're going to be a cow. A tree, you're going to be a tree. Okay, now we're going to go down. Did you all mark the word? Okay, number 7. What's your trigger word? 6. Did I skip 6? Okay, I'm sorry. If I put the glasses on, it's a problem, so you'll have to help me. Because it's like more trouble than it's worth. How Arjuna accepted the Bhagavad Gita should be noted. Okay? Acceptance is the word. So then I want you to go down, and for number... You had number 5. You marked relationship with 5, right? Did you all do it? Okay, now for 6, you go to page number 4. And it says, how Arjuna accepted the Bhagavad Gita should be noted. His manner of acceptance, okay, has been given in the 10th chapter. So number 6, he accepts Krishna. How does he do it? Yeah, also Supreme Brahman, right? We've got that one, number 6, you done it, okay? And you see the word acceptance 6. Now, we're going to go number 7 on the next page. Top of page 5. And what's your trigger word? Supreme again. Now, here he's referring to Brahman. We are Brahman. It's not that you become Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. That's the beginning of human life. If you think you're matter or this body, you're conditioned. You're conditioned. Okay? So this is, he's the Supreme Person, and that Supreme Brahman is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We're Brahman, but he's Supreme Brahman. That's the difference. We can never be that. All right, everybody following along so far? Good. This is helping you? Because once you get this, you go home and you read this, and it's absolutely calm. It makes sense, and you see how progressive it is. Okay, number 8, what's the trigger word? Acharyas. All the acharyas say so. He's quoting all of the references. Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only by himself, but by authorities like Narada, Asita, Deval, and Vyasadeva. These are great personalities who distribute the Vedic knowledge, and it is accepted by all, acharyas. So now he has proven Krishna is saying he's the supreme. All of the acharyas are saying he's supreme. All of the great Narada, Deval, Vyas, they're all saying this. But who are we to say he's not? When people say, "Well, I'm not convinced," well, how? What are you? What's your proof? Your mind? It's actually demoniac. Actually, it's envy. It's envy. And Prabhupada says one should at least theoretically, to read this book, the Gita, you should theoretically accept Krishna as God. Otherwise, forget it. Why bother? Try something else. Mickey Mouse, whatever. Okay, number 9. What's number 9?
Submissive.
Submissive. This is critical. When you approach anybody that's a superior, you should have what kind of a mood? Submissive. Are you going to be challenging, arguing, want to put up a fight? Now that's what people do in Kali Yuga. They argue with you. They don't have a submissive mood. You can't learn that way. You cannot learn. The submissive spirit, unless one reads the Bhagavad-Gita in a submissive spirit, it is very difficult to understand Bhagavad-Gita because it is a great mystery. Now you see the slide? You have 3 things here to help you. You have a book, you have a trigger list, and you have a picture. 3 things going for you. You all see the picture? Discipline and the submissive spirit. 434, how to approach a guru. If you don't do that, guess what Krishna does? He stops the knowledge. You get nescience. That's why schools can't teach this. Because they're not teaching transcendental knowledge. They're teaching nescience. Okay. All right, now let's do number 10. What's your trigger word? Deliver. And what do you see the picture? Okay, so now we're going to go to page, maybe I'll have to put the glasses on. 7, 8, 9, 10. Deliver. Sometimes I have to put both in the same Bhagavad-Gita. The submissive spirit, and I have greatest, where do I have the word deliver? I did this morning. Okay, did I skip a page? 10. Okay, there it is, 10. Right, second paragraph on page 16. Just what is Bhagavad-Gita? The purpose of Bhagavad-Gita is to deliver mankind. Was the book meant just to make some money? It is meant to deliver mankind from the nescience of material existence. That's what I said. It's ignorance, nescience. The whole material world is based on, I'm this body. They're wrong. They're not the body. 99.9% of the world is an illusion. That's pretty heavy. Number 10, you got it? Deliver? What's the purpose of the Gita? Deliver people from nescience. Now we go down another paragraph. Mark number 11 in the margin, and check your study guide for 11. Inquiry. Let's find out if you must be human beings, because you're sitting here and you're asking the question, who am I? K-A-M-I. If you can't ask that question, you're an animal in a human form. That's the Shastra. If you can't ask that question, who am I? Where have I come from? Where do I go at death? You're an animal in the human form. Pretty heavy. So most of the people on the planet are what? Animals. Consciousness is not developed. They're suffering and they don't think so. That's an animal. An animal is suffering. He doesn't know. That's why people think, I'm not suffering, I'm fine. They are suffering. But their consciousness is so undeveloped, they don't know it. Okay, got it? So now we know that, and we know that if you don't ask that question, this is called Brahma Vijnasa Aham Brahma. Aham Brahma. Yeah, I am actually a spirit soul. I'm not this body. So all of you are definitely, you can't be animals or you wouldn't be sitting here. Puppy dog couldn't understand what I'm saying. You take most people on the street, they're not going to understand what I'm saying. You got a big job when you're preaching. Now, on the next page, you're going to put, what's the next number? 12. And what's your trigger word? Reestablish. Why does the Lord come? Anybody know? He comes to reestablish religious principles. Right? And he comes in all kinds of avatars, each with a different purpose. Each with a different purpose, for a different time and a different place, a different level of... When man has forgotten religious principles, the Lord descends to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants. That's a famous sloka. Yada yada hidarmasha, right? Famous slokas. You see how this anybody beginning to appreciate this particular book? It's like it's so perfect. I can't. And Prabhupada's just lecturing. He's not writing this. Extemporaneous, 3 hours. Profound. Okay, so you know what he's come. Lord Krishna descends to reestablish the real purpose of life when man forgets that. Yeah, he doesn't know why he's living. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow I may die. That's called hedonism. That's what they do. They're going to do it on New Year's. They're going to do it on Christmas. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow I shall die. That's hedonism, right? That's all they know. They don't know anything beyond that. Okay, here's 13. Guess what? This is the last paragraph for the first topic. Let's see how he wraps it up. What's the word? Benefit. And put 13 in that paragraph. And look for the word benefit and circle it. And the essence is, Arjuna was put into ignorance. Was he really ignorant? No, he's an eternal associate. You cannot be eternal associate and be conditioned. You have to be purified, 100%. Why was he put into ignorance? For the benefit of generations of human beings. Arjuna is being told this for us now. Thank you, Arjuna. Thank you. Thank you, Krishna. Okay. Everybody found this helpful so far? I swear, you read this after, the text is automatic. You just fill in more details, that's all. Now we're going to go into 14 Manu's section, right? So I want you, after in the book, after you have put number 13, I want you to draw a line under that paragraph to show that this is the end of the first topic. Okay? And on the next, do this for me. In that, under that line, I want you to write T number 2. That means at this point, I am beginning the second topic. What you're doing is you're blocking off what you learned. Your first topic was about Krishna, Arjuna, and the Bhagavad-Gita. This one, the topic is going to be the 5 truths. What's it going to be? The 5 truths. How many verses? 14. Very analytical. But now you have in your brain a mental context. How are you doing? Okay? Good. Everybody finding this is beneficial? Yeah, we're taking a little time, but once you get going, it starts to be... Because I had to do this. I had to go through numbers, find the word, read carefully, circle it, come up with a text. It wasn't spelled out, but it's obvious. Crystal clear. So you all know where topic 1 began. You know where topic 1 began, right? First paragraph. This is the beginning of 2. Now, in the margin, I want you to put number 14. What's your trigger word for 14? Okay, for 14, now let me just check mine, and I have the word, 5 basic truths. There are how many? 5. All right. Next, let's see what verse 15 text has. Okay, what's the first one? What's your trigger word? Yeah, look at your greatest. Because there are actually 5 truths. Let's do signals. Everybody, do with me. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, time, and the last one is karma, the wheel of samsara. 4 are eternal. What are eternal? What's eternal? Krishna, Jiva, Prakriti. Yeah, she's eternal, not always manifest. Time. Time is eternal. What's karma? The temporary one. Karma is actions that produce this body, and you can stop it. That's why we study Bhagavad-Gita. You stop your karma. Anybody want to do that? Yeah, of course you do. Otherwise, keep going round and round and round. Up and down, suffering, suffering, suffering. Okay, so you know what the 5 truths are. All right, now, Krishna is obviously number 1, right? He's the what? Greatest. He's the greatest. All right, what's your next word? Prakriti is always under control, whether inferior or superior. There are 2 kinds of Prakriti. I don't know if you realize that everything in the world, in the spiritual and material world, is Prakriti. There's only one Purush. Who's that? Krishna. Now in the material world, everybody's Prakriti, but they think they're Purush, including women. You can be a man, Purush Bhav, but if you're a woman, you're also Purush Bhav. You're trying to control and enjoy. That's what you're trying to do. You have the mentality of a Purush, but you're by nature Prakriti. So it's incompatible, and you suffer. You suffer. You have to suffer, because you're acting against your nature. It's the unhealthy state. Unhealthy. Your disease. It's a disease-contaminated state. It has to be cured, like medicine. Okay, everybody following so far? Okay, so you understand. Now here I have material nature, represented by Durga, but I also have Kamsa. He's a jiva. So Kamsa he's actually of the superior Prakriti. But if he comes in contact with the material Prakriti, he comes under the clutches of the modes of nature. If he turns to Krishna, he can be in his spiritual position. He has the choice. We're tatastha. That means we can go left or right. So where do you want to go? Left or right? You want to go right. The right direction. Because you are superior Prakriti. Material nature, it can't act on its own. Dull matter. Takes somebody to move it, right? The desk won't walk away. It won't move. We can walk away. Okay. Everybody got that? Okay, what's number 17 trigger word? Nature, time, and karma. Right? These converse in time. These are the activities, and this is by a combination of the modes and time and the pre-eternal time, there are activities. Now this is what we do, activities, and these activities are called. What are they called? Yeah, everybody's acting. You have to. Is there anybody who's not acting? Even if you think you're going to be still like the yogis, your mind is active. And the world is designed so that you have to work. And when you work, you make more karma. You plant millions of seeds for more bodies. That's all you do. Hopelessly trapped. Karma's heavy. You're trying to burn it, both good and bad. Okay. Now, what's the trigger word for 18? Go down to, I hope you're finding all these. Go down, next one, and go to paragraph 18. I have that on the page of 11. And the key word is change. What's our hope? We can change the results of our karma. That's our hope. Did you all find it? Yes. Circle it. Change. You have to be a little bit like, Sherlock Holmes. Search. I can change my karma. I can stop it. I don't want more. I can, if I change my activities, that's what Prabhupada did. Do devotional service and you stop your karma. But if you do more karma, you're going to just get more bodies, that's all. Good or bad or mixed. All right, now go down, and we're going to try to move faster now. 19. What's your trigger word? Goodness. What's that mean? If I'm not in the mode of goodness, I have no hope. Did I skip one? Oh, I forgot consciousness. Yes. Therefore, the jiva prakriti is called the superior because the jiva has consciousness similar to the Lord's. Qualitatively the same, quantitatively no. You are conscious, like Krishna. Therefore, you can understand Krishna. Can the microphone understand Krishna? But you can, because you are a spirit soul. You are conscious. You are actually the consciousness watching a dream right now. You think you're sitting here in a class marking a book. But you're watching a movie. You're watching a movie. At night you had a dream, right? Wake up in the morning, where's the dream? Where's the dream? That was night dream. This is a daydream. You're the consciousness that saw the night dream, and now you're the consciousness watching the daydream. Think about it. When you wake up, you're in the spiritual world, and you're Yashodamayi. You're dreaming also, but it's Yogamaya. It's your eternal dream. This is your temporary dream. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. This helpful? Yeah, this is profound. Where in the world are you going to get knowledge like this? I don't know. Okay, profound. All right, consciousness. Thank you for checking me again. It's hard without the glasses. Okay, next. The next topic is, what's your trigger word? Right. What do we have? Did I write? That was goodness, right? The platform of goodness is the springboard to pure goodness. It's the safety net. Follow the 4 regulative principles. That's the beginning. If someone's not following the 4 regulative principles, unfortunately it's sinful life. Actually, one speaker was very good. I was such a Vrata a week ago. He said, what I did before I came to Krishna consciousness was sin. And then he said this, anything I do that doesn't please Krishna is sin. That's heavy. It's true. Because that means you're holding back and you're acting to some degree in a way that keeps you here. Only pure, unalloyed bhakti pleases Krishna. Ahaitukya pratihata. Unmotivated, uninterrupted, 100%. Goloka is not a cheap place. Okay. 21, what's your key word?
Purify.
Purify. Now I'm going to just try to read the text and not try to follow if I can, because for me going back and forth with my vision is too hard. But I think if you help each other, you've got it, right? Everybody okay? All right. Purify. The Bhagavad-Gita teaches us that we have to purify our materially contaminated consciousness. In pure consciousness, our actions are dovetailed with the will of Ishvara, and that will make us happy. So the more we follow the will of the Lord, through the Bhagavad-Gita, through the Bhagavatam, through the spiritual master, we purify our consciousness, we become happier. Anybody want to be miserable? No, this is the secret to being happy. And you have to have pure consciousness to be with the Lord. No tinge of, something else. No separate motive. What's our trigger word for 22? Liberated. So what does that mean? Because people have different concepts of moksha, depending on the level of their realization. Prabhupada said they're an illusion. One who wants to become free. Everybody want to be free? Yes. One who wants to become liberated must first learn that he is not this what? Not this material body. That's why we said that prayer. You had to say it. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not a Brahman, I'm an eternal spirit soul. That's why we started with this. That's what the pujari has to think when he's looking at the deity this close, putting those tilak marks on. He better remember who he is and who that is. Right? Otherwise, he's going to have problems. 23, what's your trigger word? Okay, do a search and find, hunt, scan. We teach kids, I know when I taught math, we taught kids how to scan when they were revising. Scan, learn how to go fast. In contaminated consciousness, I am means I am the Lord of all I survey. That's what everybody around is thinking. That's why people don't get along. He thinks he's God. We all think we're God to some degree. Ever have somebody challenge you? What's wrong with him? Doesn't he see it my way? Of course not. He sees it his way, according to his conditioned senses, materially under the modes. If you're in the mode of goodness, you'll see it this way. If you're in the mode of passion, you'll see it that way. If you're in the mode of ignorance, you'll see it, look out. Right? All right. Contaminated consciousness means I am the Lord of all I survey. Text 24, complete. I love this one. The complete whole and the complete absolute truth and are the complete personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Krishna is absolutely complete in every way. All six opulences in God realization. Go for the top. Don't go for Brahman or Paramatma realization. Go to the perfect person. You can't go higher. Complete. And what's he like? What's number 25, your trigger word? Sat Chidananda Vigraha. Govinda, Krishna, is the cause of all causes, the primal cause, and he's the very form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. And that's number 25. So we're going to move on in front because we've got quite a few to go. But I want to give you the idea so at least we can try to cover it. 25. Sometimes it's sort of overlapped. I had a few here where it's almost two, but you got the picture here to help you. All right. Number 26. And he is a transcendental what? Person. Prabhupada said, how can we expect God not to be a person? God would have to encompass everything we experience. Do we see persons here? And beyond our experience. Therefore, God has to have a personal form. Or how can he be complete? How can he be God? If somebody's more than God, because he's got a body, doesn't make sense, right? Mayavadi philosophy, they don't make sense. They don't make sense at all. He's a person, and that's confirmed by all Vedic literature. Text 27, this is your last one, and you're going to draw a line. There is complete facility. Look at the word facility. I love this. For the small complete units, that's us, namely the living entities, to realize the complete. We are equipped with the facility to understand God. A puppy dog cannot. And the whole world loves dogs. They worship dogs. Everything's dogs. They'll go save a dog and go home and eat meat. I go on Facebook to get pictures of Prabhupada, and every day there's another movie of a guy who saved a dog or this or that, or he saved a deer, or didn't eat him at least. They're just saving all kinds of animals. But they go home and they eat meat. Prabhupada said they're not kind, they're partial. And they show, this is the hero of the day. He just saved a dog from drowning. It doesn't make sense. Okay, draw a line under that. And underneath you're going to put topic number 3. T number 3. And T number 3 is going to be, we see the topic? What's it going to be? Yeah, it's going to be Vedic knowledge. Where are we getting our knowledge? How many slokas are there? 5. Remember the trigger word was rasas. So now you know the third topic is going to be Vedic knowledge. Yeah, topic, and you underline it and you put T number 3. Draw your line? Okay. So now, what's your first trigger word? You see here, because I've got it in your text. It's all here, folks. Vedic knowledge is your topic. And it's your third one. It goes from 27 to 32 paragraphs. Right? We're treating these like mantras. Text 20 is infallible. What's that mean?
It never fails.
It can't be wrong. That's explained in the 15th chapter. There are 2 kinds of beings, fallible and infallible. We're among the fallible. But there's one above them, and that's Krishna. So there are 3 beings. The Supreme, the infallible in the spiritual world, and the fallible ones of us down here. But we can become infallible. There's hope. Otherwise, why are we sitting here in the cold, listening to this? You must want to become something. You must be aspiring for something higher in life than eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Because that's what the whole world thinks is all there is to it. 20. The Gita should be taken as the most what? Perfect is your word. perfect. Is this speech perfect? Anybody find this lecture perfect? I couldn't find a flaw. It was so, the more I read it and the more I scrutinized, and even today I was just thinking, oh my God, Krishna, you spoke this for sure through Prabhupada. The Gita should be taken as the most perfect presentation of Vedic knowledge. And it is received from transcendental sources. And the first words were spoken by whom? Yeah, to Vivaswan. Krishna spoke it to Vivaswan. Millions and millions of years ago. And then he spoke it to Manu, and Manu spoke it to Ikshvaku, and then Ikshvaku handed it down, and then the chain got lost, and now Krishna says, now I'm establishing it with you, Arjuna. The sibling succession got broken. All those rascals started to say it was something other than your God. Now, what's number 30? Proprietor. Do we own anything? Nothing. If you want to be peaceful, don't think you own something. That's why the whole world is fighting. This is my country. This is my wife. This is my puppy dog. My. And they're not peaceful. Prabhupada said there are more UN flags every year. The United Nations. He said they just start fighting and they have more flags. Actually, Krishna consciousness is the United Nations. Look how many different kinds of people are sitting here right now. Where else are you going to get this kind of mix? And is anybody fighting in this room? No. I hope not. You try it. You can't be on the bodily platform and do this. No way. So, if you want to be peaceful, don't think you own anything. Everything belongs to Krishna, including your body, including your intelligence. What does he say? I'm the intelligence in man. I think I'm speaking. Where did I get the intelligence to do that? I'm not. I'm just a puppet. Okay. Utilize. Oh, I love this one. There are many examples of how we can utilize those things which are set aside for us by the Lord. He gives us a quota. You don't need 20 pair of shoes. You don't need 3 cars. You don't need 4 houses. Bare essentials. But how do I use them? How do I use them effectively? That's the important thing. How do I utilize? Now here's the famous one, Ambarish. He's quoted all the time. He used his hands to clean the temple. He used his legs to walk somewhere to holy places. He's the one who was quoted as using everything for the Lord. And Arjuna did that too now when he changed. How's our camera doing? Okay? Yeah, last time when the battery went out, we lost the class. You know, it's a good pinprick in my false ego too, but we have to keep checking because technology's no guarantee of anything, right? And human beings, I love this one. The way Prabhupada said it. What's a human being? Man must be intelligent to realize the importance of human life and refuse to act like ordinary animals. You're refusing to act like an animal. That's human life. He says he refused to act like ordinary animal. This is brilliant the way he says it. Okay, draw a line under number 5. Text number, that was topic number 3. Draw a line under that paragraph. Remember, you try to circle the word human beings. You saw the picture, you've got your text. Now we're going to start topic number what? 4. This is so profound. What is Sanatan Dharma? I think you gave the class on this the other day, Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan, 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 Sanatan. And how many times Prabhupada repeats that? Sanatan, Sanatan, Sanatan. So we're going to find out now, what are we? And what is our Sanatan Dharma? And what's the process for reviving it? Because right now Prabhupada says our Sanatan Dharma is temporarily suspended. But it can be invoked again. Because we've got other duties that have to do with the body, but you can purify them. So number 33 is the word Sanatan. Can you find that? Yes. And put a 33. The whole purpose of Bhagavad-Gita is to revive our Sanatan occupation. What do we do in the spiritual world? Maybe we make garlands, we boil milk. Maybe we take care of the cows. Who knows what we do? Maybe we help clean, the house for Yashoda. We all have an eternal job, and we walked off the job. We say, I quit. And that's why we're here. I quit. Well, go down there and be forced to work. Either you serve voluntarily, or you work under force. No out. Okay. And number 34, what's the key word? Yeah, who's our father, everybody?
Krishna.
Krishna. If you go back all the way, so we're all brothers and sisters. That's a nice thought. The Lord was very kind to living entities because He is, Lord Krishna, He declares, I'm the Father of all, including the puppy dog and the deer and the cow. Think He's happy when they eat the cow? Not too happy. Or some people eat dogs in China. They eat dogs and cats. I saw a guy in Australia. They have kangaroo hamburgers. They eat kangaroos because that's what it's, and it's their national symbol. But what is it? It doesn't make sense. Okay, 35. What's your key word? Yeah. Therefore, Sanatan Dharma does not refer to any sectarian. This is what I like. Sectarian process of religion. It is the eternal function of the eternal living entities in relationship with the eternal supreme whole. The word Sanatan means eternal, eternal, eternal. It's your eternal occupation. Something sectarian is limited by time and space. You may be a Buddhist one day and the next day decide to be a Muslim. Or you can be a Christian and decide to become a Buddhist. I think Adi Purush said that's what he did before he became a devotee. Those are temporary, and they're not eternal. They come for a specific purpose at a specific time. So you'll see that actually Sanatan Dharma is your eternal relationship, which we're trying to invoke. Okay, and this is eternal. There he is in the spiritual world with the cute little cowherd boys all having lunch together. What's your next word? Sectarian. Now here's an understanding. What do you say could That which has neither a beginning and end must not be sectarian. It cannot be limited by any boundaries, time or space. Very important. If something is in time or space, it's sectarian. It's not eternal. These bodies are not eternal. We're going to all die someday, like it or not. Okay, what's your next trigger word? Constant. Similarly, we must discover the essential part of living being, that which is his constant companion. Now, I put Radharani with Krishna because she's his constant companion. But that means it's always your function. Let's go to number, and try to keep up now. Let's go to number, because at least you can hear it, and try to keep up if you're really good at scanning and circling. 36. What is your constant companion? Service. The wife serves the husband, the children serve the mother, the man serves his boss, the boss serves his country, or, the country serves who. But everybody renders service to Krishna, ultimately. So the rendering of service is the eternal religion. You see it. If they don't worship God, they're worshiping their dog. They're serving the dog. Or they're serving somebody else. My boss. What's number 39, everybody? Designations. Oh, this is why we chanted the prayer. Man professes of belonging to a particular type of faith with reference to particular time and circumstance. Such designations are non-Sanatan Dharma. They're not eternal. This life you may be a Brahmana, the next life you may be a Shudra, or reverse. You don't know. You may be a man this life, a woman the next, or reverse. You become what you meditate on. Whoa. That's scary. Now, number 40, I like this one, happy. It shows up in the verse about 20 times. I know when I circled it, I found it all over the place. Happy, 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 happy. Everybody wants to be happy. It is not possible for the living entity to be happy without rendering what? Transcendental love of service unto the Supreme Lord. And here you get the king, Prataparudra, sweeping before Lord Jagannath. So I thought that was perfect, because he's serving the Lord. Every year he takes out his golden broom, and that's how Rath Yatra starts. So what's the way to be happy? Service to Krishna. And when we say the name Krishna, we mean it's not a sectarian name. The word Krishna means what? He's the highest pleasure. If you want to be happy, go for the best. Don't go for some candy bar or some soda pop. That's your highest pleasure. Or some more comfortable, brand new phone, or more comfortable bed, or more comfortable, I don't know, whatever. Highest pleasure. Krishna is the highest pleasure. Now draw a line under that, under 41, and you're going to mark topic number what? Spiritual sky. Now Prabhupada's introducing the alternative. And it's 9 verses here, and 9 on 9 describing the spiritual sky, and 9 how to get there. First you got to have the brochure. If I want to go to Bermuda, I have to look for a brochure that wants to convince me to go to Bermuda, to spend the money to go to Bermuda. So now he's going to describe the spiritual sky, and then in the next section, how to get there. If I go to Bermuda, well, I have to book a ticket, get a plane, have some money to pay for it all. Right? So the spiritual sky starts with 42, and everybody, where are we sitting? In Vrindavan. The Lord descends to this mortal world to show his pastimes in Vrindavan. Are we fortunate?
Yes.
You better believe you are. Which are full of what? Happiness. Of course, you have to be careful in Vrindavan because there's some covering here. You want to stay away from those things that aren't so Vrindavan, huh? 43, what's that? Now he's going to tell you what it is. Here's the brochure. That supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon. Those who reach there, they don't come back. That's a good deal. Abode. Right? There it is. Either we're going to be down here or up there. So we're down here, but we want to go there. That's where we're sitting here. And what's it called? Goloka. Yeah, now there, I sort of put two in the same paragraph here. 44 and 45, I think. It got a little tricky, and I didn't want to change this, but it's called Goloka according to the Brahma Samhita, right? It is beautifully described there. Okay, what's trigger word for 45? Spiritual sky. One who can approach the spiritual sky is not required to descend again to the material sky. Now, that means required. Prabhupada says you can fall down again, but you probably aren't going to be that foolish. Narada did that one time. He came back and, no, I don't want to. You have to be careful. You're not required. Notice the key word. I'm not required to return. Now here's how we go someplace. 46. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. That's how you go to the higher planets, not by machine, but by worshiping somebody. Like the Devas, you want to go to Brahma Loka, Chandra Loka, Indra Loka. You worship those guys and you go there. People don't know, though, that if they worship Krishna, they can go there. They don't. The Bhagavad-Gita doesn't advise staying in the material world and falling down again. 47. Here's why you don't want to be here. The material world is filled of inconvenience. What's your word? Inconvenient. Yes. You think the body's convenient? Just try to get dressed up in the winter. Dry your clothes in time. But one who wants to approach the supreme planet, Krishna Loka, will not meet with these inconveniences, which are birth, old age, disease, and death, plus the three kleshas, Adi Atmika, Adi Bodhika, Adi Daivika. Nice package. The place is meant for suffering. Do you want to know what's the impetus for doing anything here? To counteract suffering. It's cold, I put on a jacket. It's hot, I turn on the fan. I'm thirsty, I drink water. I'm hungry, I eat food. Think about it. What gives you motive to do something? You're trying to counteract suffering, that's all. Think about it. Prabhupada said the whole world moves on counteracting suffering, that's all. Okay, reflection. This is a reflection. Text number 48. What is this world? Yeah, it's a perverted reflection. We've got that upside down banyan tree. It's perverted. What's good up there is bad down here. It's upside down. Okay? These materials are a reflection of the spiritual world. How do we get there? How do I become detached from this banyan tree? There's only way. What's the only way? Text 40. Through devotional service to the Lord. I can't let go of this until I have something else to hang on to. So without devotional service to the Lord, there's no way of becoming detached from the perverted reflection. Be you a yogi or jnani, they don't get there. They still have attachment. Only devotional service gives you the higher taste. Everybody agree? Yeah, you do service, you start to feel happy. unmanifested. The spiritual world, which is beyond this material sky, descends as avyakta, unmanifested. That means, avyakta means two things. We don't see it unless you're pure. But unmanifested also represents this material world, because sometimes it's manifest and sometimes it's not, but it's eternal. But the spiritual world manifested here 5,000 years ago. Is that very long ago? And in Mayapur, Lord Chaitanya manifested 500 years ago. Is that very long ago? In terms of 8.6 billion? It's a flash. We are too lucky. If we knew, we would just fall over and faint. We would faint. Okay, text number 51, and we'll move quickly. What's the word? Oh, draw a line. Guess what? We're almost done. How do we get there? How do we get to that place that sounds so good? It starts with text number 51, and what's your first word? Remembering Krishna is the way. Always think of Krishna and what? Never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna and never forget him. Injunction, prohibition. One must remember the form of Krishna. If he quits his body thinking of this form, he surely approaches the spiritual kingdom. So what should we think of? It's easy. Is the deity beautiful? Is Radharani beautiful? Come on. Nothing like it in the whole universe. That Radharani is too much. Krishna's just sort of second fiddle next to her. And Balaram, whoa. He's a close second too, right? So beautiful, too beautiful. Not too hard to think of them when you're looking at them, right? You got to be really out of it. All right. What's 52? Yeah, this life is what? Everybody, you've got this life. You've got it here and now. You're sitting here. You haven't dropped dead on the spot. This life is preparation for what? The next one. If we can prepare, therefore, in this life to get promoted to the kingdom of God, then surely after quitting this body, we will attain what kind of a body? A spiritual body. You get the kind of body you meditate on. People don't believe that. If they're meditating on their dog, what would they get next life? You get that kind of body. Bharat Maharaj meditated on the deer. What did he get? It's proof. People don't believe it. But what you meditate creates your mind pattern, and nature gives you the return. So don't start meditating on something, like a new pair of shoes or this or that or my cell phone, and think of Krishna. I have to tell myself that too, because I'm attached to my tablets, I really like my jacket. What do? I don't know. Krishna help me, pray. And should we believe this? We should not reject that which does not tally with I love this, doesn't tally with our imagination. We should have that of Arjuna. What does Arjuna say to Krishna? I believe everything that you have told me. Right? Does anybody not believe the Bhagavad-Gita? Well, if you're sitting here, I'm sure you do. But a lot of people out there, come on, it's just fairy tales. It's mythology. The Bhagavatam is a bunch of stories. It's denial. And 54, what will happen? Attain. Whatever state of being we remember after quitting the body, he will attain that state without fail. So you don't want to die thinking of my favorite Rasgula. You might have to come back. Prabhupada said 1 grain of sugar, the ant will make him have to take another body to get it. Prabhupada said 1 bangle can bring you back. Anybody have bangles in here? 1 bangle can bring you back? I don't know about you guys, but I feel I'm in a little bit of trouble. I don't have bangles, but I like my jacket. Okay. The Supreme Lord has diverse and innumerable energies which are beyond our conception. Now, there are only 2 things in creation. There's Krishna and his energies. How many things are there? Yeah, Krishna's everything. But everything is not Krishna. Okay? Okay. Energies. And we are marginal, so we can be either left or right. All right. 56. Puranas. Now, why do we have the Puranas? Our thinking must be transferred to what kind of literature? Vedic literature. The great sages, therefore, have written many Vedic literatures such as the Bhagavad Purana, Ishopanishad. Okay, we're going to try to make it because the class is going almost till Artik's going on, but I want you to get the full package. Vyasadeva, 57. Now, Vyasadeva, let's face it, he's the literary incarnation of God. He writes everything that he, and the Bhagavad-Gita, how can people question that somebody's he's just speaking all this? We must transfer our reading to these literatures which have given us by Vyasadeva. In that way, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. If we study the Bhagavad-Gita, if we study the Srimad Bhagavatam, our mind is engaged safely. We don't study the newspaper, I hope. The Kali Purana. Activities. And what do we do with our activities? Number 58. With your activities dedicated to me, and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, and you will attain me without doubt. Now that means you have a body, you have to act. He didn't say, Arjuna, just sit there and meditate, I'll fight. No, he's not practical. Arjuna, you're Kshatriya, fight with the right understanding. You have to act. You're going to act anyway, whether you like it or not. But it's how you act and for whom. That makes the difference. And he didn't say just fight and don't think of me. Because sometimes we do that. We're doing something, but we're not thinking of Krishna. Now that happens for me 99% of the time. I'll be thinking, oh, it's this time and I better hurry. And you have to do both because you have 2 bodies. You have a subtle body, that's your mind. You have a physical body, that's your activities. Both have to be engaged. Otherwise, Prabhupada said at the time of death, you cannot think of Krishna because death is so heavy. Unless you practice mind and body, activities and mental, death, you can't face it. Chanting. What does Lord Chaitanya say? 59. Yeah, chanting the name of the Lord. How often? Always. Let's all say Hare Krishna. Everybody? Hare Krishna. The more you say it, the better off you are. It's another penny in your bank account. Love. Everybody talks about, oh, I love this, I love this, oh, I love that restaurant, I love my wife. Love for whom? Krishna. That's only when you love Krishna can you love everything else, Prabhupada says, and that's at a Sakti. So when people throw around the word love, it's pretty cheap. Because everybody's part of Krishna, and when they love Krishna, they automatically love her. Why did everybody love Prabhupada? They asked him. He said, because I love everybody. Now, can you say that about everybody? There's some people that really rub you the wrong way. Love. At that time, we can remember him. Discharge. And how to be united with Krishna? That's a famous sloka. 647. All the yogis abides in me with faith. He's the highest. That's 61. 62, what's the word? Absorption. Yes. The Bhagavad-Gita teaches us how to absorb the mind and intelligence in thoughts of the Lord. So that's why we're doing this. We'll go faster. Absorption will enable one to transfer himself to the kingdom of God. So at least sitting here and doing what you're doing, you are safe. If you're doing it. If you're not doing it, maybe your mind is somewhere else, and I don't know. That's why I wanted you to be... Everybody find this helpful? Yes. It makes a big difference. That's why I don't really like to tolerate passive participants. Hearing. These 9 processes, of which the easiest is, what is it? Shravanam, right? Hearing. Without, that will turn their thoughts to the Supreme. What's 64? Meditation. He who meditates on me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, undeviated, is sure to reach me. They're giving you the formula. And guess what in 65? I love this. Everyone. Are there some people who are excluded? Oh, if you're a woman, or if you're too stupid, or no. Everyone. Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna consciousness is the answer for everyone at all times and all places. No one is barred. No one can be kept from reviving his relationship with Krishna. That is the greatest sin, to check someone from his relationship with... What do you do? Wherever you go, Lord Chaitanya says, tell people about Krishna. Help people learn about Krishna. Help turn them towards Krishna. The modern Bhagavad Gita writers, they turn you away from Krishna. That is the greatest offense. Solution. If one accepts the principles renunciated in Bhagavad Gita, he can make his life perfect and make a permanent, what? Solution to the problems, all the problems of life. Not just your bank account, your neighbor. I don't know. I find this brilliant. I keep saying it, but it's like I read it, it's like profound. Okay, the Gita Mahatmya. Guess what? We're at the end, and we're going to make it, because Prabhupada, I've got the Gita Mahatmya in here for you also. You can read that later. Prabhupada expands upon it. 27, what's the key word?
Draw a line?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, draw a line under number 6, because you're going to do the 7th topic. It's the Gita Mahatmya. And who's speaking it? Shiva. Now, I think that's proof that Krishna is God and not Shiva. You know, because people say, oh, no, Lord Shiva is God. Krishna is somebody else. Or they're all God. Well, then who's God? The Gita Mahatmya, Shiva's speaking it. How should we read the Bhagavad Gita? Carefully. Are we reading it carefully now?
Yes.
You see the difference?
Yes.
How about you, Gorg?
Yes.
Help. This gentleman, I was so happy the other night. He finally gave a class. I know he's a scholar and he preaches. And I kept saying, why aren't you giving a class? Oh, he said, they don't need me. But he gave a really good class. I sent down a present. I hope you didn't mind. I said, you know, why are you cheating us? You're holding back. I hope that these help you, right? Because if you do this with everything becomes easy. It's a skill. And you just learned a skill. Okay, carefully. And what happens if you do it? What's 68? Yeah, the Gita will stop your reactions. Your karma's being checked right now. Right now, your karma's 69. The Lord takes all what? He takes responsibility for one who surrenders. That's why he says, forget all Sarva Dharman, forget all those religions, abandon all of them, just surrender. I will take care of you. I'm the supreme. Nobody's higher. I take responsibility. Only Krishna can take responsibility for all your sins. Can somebody else? No. Jesus wanted to. Mukunda Datta wanted to. But can they really? Only Krishna could. That's why forget everything. Just surrender. It's so simple. Bath. Everybody has to take a bath? Well, we used to be able to go to the Jamuna. Now that's questionable. It's considered a dead river. I think the Ganges is also considered a dead river now. If one takes a bath even once in the sacred Ganges water of the Bhagavad-Gita, notice they compare it to the Ganges water, the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. And what's number 7? Essence. This one book, Bhagavad-Gita, will suffice because it is the essence of all Vedic literature. One book. Especially because it is spoken by whom? Supreme Personality of Godhead. 72. Anybody like nectar? Yes. One who drinks the water of the Ganges River attains salvation. So what to speak of one who drinks the nectar? I don't know about you, but when I read about it, I think it's ecstatic. I'm doing an analytical sort of a Sankhya type of approach to study. Now, I mean, I'm far from ecstasy, but I must say I do experience Prabhupada's ecstasies. You know, how can you not? It's so relishable. Huh? Each time you read it, it's more, right? Drink. The Bhagavad Gita is like a cow. Lord Krishna, who is the cowherd boy, is milking the cow. Arjuna is just like a calf. And the learned scholar and pure devotees are to do what? Drink the nectarian milk of the Bhagavad Gita. And I like how he says the fine theistic intelligence. You have to have finer intelligence to do it. And the word one appears in that Gita. One appears a dozen times. If you look at, I circled it, I think it appeared 16 times. 1, 1, 1. In this present day, people are very much eager to have one scripture, one God, one religion, and one occupation, and one mantra. And what is it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Now what we're going to do, because I told you when Prabhupada presented this, the world for the first time heard profound knowledge that the modern world never got before. And we're going to play now, as you exit, we're going to play the Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna album, which was played at night on a radio station. Now, when Prabhupada started chanting at Thompson Square, you know, a few people heard it, and a few people videoed it. But this started the explosion. Because somebody at a radio station that the hippies used to listen to, this was playing all night. And they heard the mantra all night. And overnight, the movement took off. So what we're going to do now, Abhai's going to be playing that Hare Krishna mantra that was it's on the Radha Krishna album. We're going to say Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu.